Hey, it's me. I'm driving currently, but I wanted to make some notes and I didn't want to forget. Excuse all of the gear. It's extremely cold outside today. So the Hudson property is also just about 5 minutes from downtown Mansfield. So Mansfield is a fantastic area with a lot of newer developments, new to the last 10 years, of course, newer developments and new shopping centers, new restaurants, top of the line, grocery stores and tons of services available. You really don't ever have to leave Mansfield. You have everything right here. But there's also historic downtown Mansfield. And when you get close to it, the houses are from like something out of another era. And don't get me wrong, there's some that, they've torn down and rebuilt, but try to stay true to the historic, more like Victorian, Western Victorian kind of a look. But then Main Street itself is cute as a button. I just drove through it. If it wasn't freezing, raining outside and 26 degrees, I would have gotten out and snapped some pictures, but you could probably Google it and get some pictures that way. But it is where the family can go. You park the car and it's entirely walkable. You can go for like a Friday night and get a ice cream cone and go in and out of some really quirky, eclectic shops and places to grab a bite to eat and things to experience. So I would encourage you to Google Main Street downtown historic Mansfield and see what all it has to offer, because on top of just Mansfield in general being everything you could ever need, this is just such a nice warm and homey kind of throwback vibe, and really something fun to do with the kids and or with friends or as a date, just the two of you. Wanted to make that note as I'm going to house 2 before I forget. And house 2, it's noteworthy that it's not too far as well. It's about 10-ish minutes from everything I was just describing. It's basically all part of the same area, just opposite sides of the same area. This property that we saw in Mansfield was sort of like northmost Mansfield, and then you have central Mansfield, which is where I think Main Street and all of that kind of resides. And then there's easternmost Mansfield, which technically borders the disconjointed part of Grand Prairie that borders the lake there, Joe Pool Lake. And that's the part of Grand Prairie that we're heading to, and that's very close to where we were in the gated neighborhood that I first met you in. And that part of Grand Prairie, as I explained via text, is incredibly separated and to not necessarily be recognized as traditional Grand Prairie, but more so it's basically Mansfield. It's a part of Mansfield. They go to Mansfield schools. It's on this side of the water is Mansfield. Just for whatever reason, the way they drew the lines, there's this one little nugget of land that is considered Grand Prairie, but everything it does, it associates with Mansfield. So that is something I wanted to mention. Okay, I'm gonna end this video, and I apologize about the bumpiness here. My camera skills are not great while driving. I will go ahead and pick this up at the next house. See you then.